everybody and welcome back to the channel, and if you're here for the very first time, welcome. I'm Jane and my husband Mike does everything behind the camera. We're British early retirees, we have no debt, we've paid off the mortgage and we live a thrifty, frugal and money-saving life here in Brittany in northwest France. And every Wednesday we open our doors and invite you in for a mid-week money chat. This week we're going to have a chat about how to bring a partner on board with budgeting. If you've been here before, you know I do like to be reflective, and I want to reflect on this to begin with before I go into the midweek money chat in detail. And it is this. We are not going to go into discussing today if people feel they are being financially controlled, or if they feel unsafe, or if they feel that they are in a one-sided relationship. That's very personal to them, and that requires professional help, and it is not something that we'll be going into today. Today we're going to be talking about people who are in happy, settled relationships where one person's into budgeting, one person's into frugal living, and the other person is the opposite. This might ring a bell with some of you. There could be a relationship, it could be yours, could be somebody that you know. And in that relationship, there's one person who's really into budgeting, really into saving money, and the other person isn't. And often that other person, or sometimes, could be often, sometimes could be often, the other person isn't into budgeting because they just don't know how to do it. Or they don't know how to control themselves of how to do it. Or they don't know how to control that spontaneity of how to do it. Or they just don't like to admit that it's something they're not very good at. Let's look at some workable solutions. So let us assume that this is a family where there is some kind of budgeting taking place, but one person is doing the budgeting and the other person is kind of just going along with it. And maybe, like I said, they just don't know how to do it and the other person's doing it, so they leave it to them. Well, that can be quite exhausting for the one person to carry that load. And if they want to share that with somebody else and they want to bring them on board, there are ways and means of doing that that are non-confrontational. The first one is to always keep it an I message. I really need your help, and I really believe this is something that we can do better as a team. And that's when you need to be ready for them and say, look, let's go through these things together so we know what we're doing. Go through all the money coming in. That's what you earn, that's what I earn, that's the amount we've got together, or that's all the money all together, that's the sales bonuses, however the money's coming in. And then knowing all the money that's going out, all the regular bills. Those are the easy ones, aren't they? The mortgage, the rent, the insurances. All of those things. It's the irregular ones to get written down as well. When do we have the car serviced? Is our insurance going to go up this year? What costs have we got for the children? What costs have we got for the car? What maintenance costs have we got for the house? When did we last have our central heating installed? When did we last have the air conditioning serviced or put in? When do these things need maintenance? When do these things need looking after? When's our next optical appointment, dental appointment? How much are these things going to cost? And working through those a bit at a time. And that isn't easy. It doesn't happen quickly, but going through those together and coming to that aha moment of finding out how much money we've got coming in and how much money we've got going out. And then you can finalise that budget, because all of those numbers are non-negotiable, aren't they? It's that bit at the bottom, that waffly bit, isn't it? What are we going to do with the waffly bits? How much are we going to save? How much are we going to spend? Those are the waffly bits. So get on board to begin with. That's my first bit. Know all the money coming in and all the money going out. That is regular. The next one might ring true with you as well. You might say, well, my partner and I, we sit down, we write the budget, we've got everything going on together here. It works really well when we talk about how much we're going to spend, but it all kind of falls apart throughout the month. What happens if one of you, the partner who's not on board, loses interest in the month, or they forget the budget, or they're not thinking about the budget. And it is a character trait that some people have, of out of sight and out of mind. Let's talk about ways of making that work. So when it comes to one person's on the budget but the other person's kind of losing interest, or they're just not remembering the budget, or they're not remembering, like, I can't remember how much money we're supposed to be spending or not spending, or what bills are paid and everything else. Sometimes get it in sight and in mind. Put the budget on the wall, put it on a board, put it somewhere that you can see it. Track your receipts on a board, put it on a piece of paper, stick it on a magnet, put it on the front of the fridge where they can see it. Maybe if they are really, really, really bad with money and they said, okay, I get it. I'm going to take my discretionary amount of money as an amount of cash. Then maybe they need to decide to themselves, well, actually, I'm really bad with this, and only take a weekly amount of cash. That's it. Also look into, where are they spending it? Do it together. Come on, love, let's have a sit down. Let's have a look at this. We need to look at what we can do about this, and what we can do to get both of us on board, because, times are hard, money is tight. We really need to make this budget work. We need to save money. We need to be focused on this. So let's have a look at this. Weekly budget meetings. If that's not working, have a quick squint, not in detail like you might do weekly, quick squint of the budget daily. Where are we? Oh, great. Yeah, I can see there. Money's gone out for the electricity bill. Oh, fantastic. The health insurance money's gone out, right? That's great. You can see where your money's going on a regular basis. Okay, let's have a look at this. We've got €300 this month for the supermarket. That's 75 a week. We've already spent 150. That means we've only got 150 left for the month. We need to be a bit more careful with this. We'll be eating out the cupboards, eating out the freezer. So it's having those very regular discussions. So for people who forget, or they lose interest, is keep it in sight and keep it in mind. The other one is tracking all of the time. Get into that habit of everything you buy in a shop, whether it's a coffee, anything else. Do you want a receipt? Yes. Stick it in your pocket. Get it home. Have that quick budget meeting, that squint at the budget. Any receipts? Let's get them written down. Let's focus on this. Even if it's discretionary spending. If it's cash and you've agreed on that whatever we have as discretionary spending, that's our kind of pocket money. We do what we like with it. I don't have to tell you anything. You don't have to tell me anything about it. That's cool. As long as you work on the basis of when it's gone, it's gone. There is no more money. I was just thinking about an example about people who might be a bit budget happy, a bit spendy with picking up food or drink throughout the day if they work, or they work away from home, or to work from work in their lunch breaks. And, maybe having that budget discussion around taking food to work, taking a drink to work, because it'll and convincing them, we're on the same page here. We're the same team here. We're going in the same direction here. We both of us want to make our money go further. We both want to save more. We both want to make it work. Let's get our packed lunches together every single night, because that's another $5, pounds, euros, whatever. We're not spending each day that we go to work or picking up food. And it just puts more money in our pockets, and stop giving it to other people. So there you go. Keep it in sight, keep it in mind, write it on the wall, put it on a board, put it on the fridge, have the budget book open every morning, every evening, write down your running totals, put it where you can see it. Keep it in sight, keep it in mind. Don't let it feel like nagging, because it could feel like nagging. Remember to keep it an I message, remember to keep it a we message. We really need to have a look at that. We really need to be on board with this. Keep talking about it, keep it in sight, keep it in mind. The next one always comes down to emotions about money. I mean, you could have one person in a relationship who's the saver and the other one who's the spender. And the saver, whilst they're saving, is feeling secure, feeling happy, feeling relaxed. And the saver is feeling constrained, feeling miserable, feeling mopey about it. So let's have a look at ways that we can make that work, that we can find solutions to that. Whenever we're budgeting, wherever we're living a thrifty, frugal or money-saving life, it is really, really important to us to maintain that kind of happiness about that, is to remind ourselves all the time of our shared goals. And if you've got one person feeling mopey or down and the other person feeling really confident, it's to focus on those goals. And again, don't keep them out of sight, don't keep them out of mind, keep them in sight, keep them in mind. We've got really great goals at the moment that I'm 60 this year. I want to get down to the south of France. So that means we've had to jiggle our budget and save a bit more money. But we both keep having those chats and conversations. Oh, do you think about the time we can go to Narbonne and we can go to Béziers, we can go to Perpignan and we can go and see the Pyrenees, and all of those sort of conversations that we keep having, which remind us of why, you know, we're not going out and spending money, that we're not spending money on the little bits and pieces that maybe we previously had because we've tightened our budget. And that's the same thing that if you're on a budget, and you're on a budget for a reason. It could be because you are paying down debt and you've got a visual tracker up there somewhere. Have it on the wall, have it, have it on your fridge freezer, have it there where you can see it, where that number is reducing all of the time. Or you're saving for something, a new car, you're saving for a deposit, saving for a wedding, saving to go somewhere, and that number is growing. Keep having those vision conversations. Dream walk this together of why we are doing this. We're doing this so we can retire. We're doing it so we can pay the car off. We're doing it so we can fix up the house. Keep having those conversations where you share your goals with each other to keep each other motivated so you can get each other on board. And acknowledge. I can see you're feeling really miserable about this at the moment, aren't you? I know, you really didn't want to cook tonight, did you? And you wanted us to go out and eat. So we're going to get on and do this together. We're going to find something in the freezer. I can see how you're feeling. I'm accepting you're not feeling too happy about this right now. But let's remember what we're doing this for. Hope that one helps. I want to finish with a bit of reflection as well. If you are the budgeter, if you are steering the ship that the other person is happily on, you're not making them get on it, you're not making them get on board with this. If you're doing all of that and you feel you're very, very alone doing with it, it can be really tiring for you. Speak up, speak out, share how you feel and do everything you can, as I've given you those few suggestions there, to get somebody on board. You have to keep going with it. You have to stay motivated with it, because it can be tiring. And if you are the person who's leaving it to everybody else and sometimes feel like, well, I'm not really quite sure about this budget here, I know kind of where we are, get yourself on board with that. Get involved in it. Say, I want to see the numbers. I want us to sit down, do down the numbers together. I don't want to take it away from you if you feel you're happy doing with it, because that's the kind of the way that, we run this organisation, we run this company, we run this family. That's okay, but feel free to say that you want to be part of it as well, because it's very common in relationships to find somebody who's a saver and somebody who is a spender. It can sometimes cause a little bit of conflict, but if you're in a happy, solid relationship, there are ways of working that out. Thanks for watching. Thanks for your likes. We'll see you again soon. Bye for now.